Welcome you all to the Angular 9 series of shop. Angular 9, Angular property binding. So the second method, which will be called as one-way binding, which will be called as property binding. So square bracket, you will specify the property of the HTML tag and then you will specify the expression. Now for typing code, you will open the IDE. Open the IDE. Inside that, you will open the HTML file, server component.html file. Inside that, you will create a button. So if needed, you will properly specify the button class as btn -primary. Now save the file and then view the result in a browser. Which will display the button. Now the button name, something called as add server, and save, and then now refresh the browser. Which will display add server button. For giving property binding to add server button, you will create a function in TypeScript file inside constructor. So I'm creating a variable. My server process, which is equal to false. I'm creating a new variable named as my server process, which is equal to false. I'm creating a constructor. Inside that, I'm creating set timeout. Is a default function of the function comma the time. So time is 2000 milliseconds. Then the function is specified like that. Parenthesis, function tends to function. Inside that, you will type my server process equal to true. This dot current object. So this dot my server process equal to true. So inside constructor 2000 milliseconds, the server process which will be activated. Save the file and open your HTML file and then type the property of button which will be called as disabled. DISABLED, disabled, which is equal to the name of the process, my server process. Now save the file and open the browser and then refresh. My button is disabled. After 2000 milliseconds, it automatically enabled. So you will specify not here. So now refresh your file. It will be disabled. After 2000 milliseconds, which will be enabled. I am refresh again. It automatically initially which will be disabled. After 2000 milliseconds, which will be enabled. It's for property binding. So a property disabled, which will be binded with a TypeScript variable, that is my server process. It's a Boolean variable. So which will be called as property binding. The second variable, property binding, it's a second variable. Any questions? Thank you.